Then there's a shot of Brett walking down this street and he knows someone's following him, so he's shouting but he doesn't know who it is. And another institution comes on screen, and then the next shot is me dragging Brett unconscious across the path into some forest. And the next shot, these two tied up together in the abandoned house, and a bit of dialogue. And then Sam screaming with like music playing and all that, and then the last shot is just Brett hanging from the tree. What's the title, fancy?
The script, you've got scripts on your table already, I think, the majority. How's the script structured? We decided to draft out a script, but I've gone for an approach similar to Shane Meadows. It's prepared is more of a framework, so we can alter it and do it based on how we feel during the filming. And if we want to say something that's not in the script, then we don't have to stick to it, because you feel that the improvisation could give it a better feel to the film. You should have more raw feel to the trailer and feel less robotic. The shooting schedule is to start on the 13th of December to start the first bit of the storyboard and get the main bit of the storyboard out of the way, so we can start with the next bit on the 15th to hopefully get most of our shots complete.
Yeah, and just adding to it, the first day we're trying to get all the school shots done, so then we can move on to another block lesson, because that'll be on the afternoon, and then the next block lesson, which will be like a Wednesday one, we can go out and get the majority of the outdoor shots done, because we've got more time to go out and do it and get the majority of it done then. And that's the end. Any questions? Can clap, you can finish the clap.
Are you actually going to go into the house at Chinese Quarter?
Yeah, Tom was the one who
suggested
the idea.
Can you get in?
Yeah.
Have you got to climb the fence to do it?
Yeah.
We can't do anything that's illegal for it, folks.
And we don't know it's illegal until everyone wants to do it on camera.
And you do have to be aware of health and safety issues.
But if we couldn't use that, I'm sure we could find somewhere else.
Yeah, we found another location on Beaudesert.
Oh, we weren't going to use that anyway, were we? That's right.
It's just because if that goes on your blog, you see,
Yeah.
it can be pulled up by the exam board in terms of, did you have permission?
No, we did look at an alternative location, because there's another one that's similar in Beaudesert, but we're of the belief that that's actually like able to still stand. And it's something to do with the camping lot, isn't it, or something? Yeah.
Okay, do just check that out, because it can pull your project, because you're meant to be doing it as a professional film company. You would not be able to go in anywhere without access. More questions? I would like to see some questions from other people. One thing you should consider really, there's a chance that you could be revealing too much of your story in your trailer, in terms of it's got nowhere to go next. So you know this boy gets bullied, you know he gets revenge, you know what happens to them because we see them hanging and so on. So you might want to have a little think about how much you show, how much you just suggest as a threat, so your film has somewhere to go and your audience still have a reason to see it.
I think the film's going to show more in-depth of the, because that's only two shots of the like the torturing, so forth. But I mean, in the film, it's going to be more in-depth and there's going to be more to the story than just what's it there already.
And as Tom said on the slide of the storyboard, you see where he takes Brett off, and then he comes back and says to me, "You're next." So we know that Brett dies in the end, but we don't know what happens to my character. And obviously, as you said, we can understand what you're saying, but with Brett, you said there's a lot more that could still go on yet.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, obviously if you were making a film, you'd put a lot more into it.
Yeah.
My only concern would be an audience would see the trailer and wouldn't necessarily be aware that there would be a lot more in the film. You would know because you'd made it, but your audience need to have that sense of what happens next and they want to go and find out.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that when you're structuring it. Any other questions from people? Would like a few more?
How are you going to get a shot of who's dying, Brett? How are you going to shot the hanging? How are you going to shoot it?
So I wrote around his neck hanging.
But how are you going to like?
Now, well, I was thinking ladders to start with, where you can put ladders underneath and have the rope around your neck, and then just have the effect that I'm hanging, but I'm actually not, and just shoot the top half. And then if you need to see the bottom half,
Hang
on
on
to
to
the
the
tree.
Well, look, Tom was saying that he's got like some parachute rope and stuff at his house, which is like really strong and sturdy. So what we were going to do was like harness Brett in so
underneath
it's
my
safe
arms.
to hold him, and so it's strong and that, and it won't like cut his arms off if
Yeah,
it's
the-
like some cheap rope or something. So that's harnessing him in,
Yeah.
and then put a coat over the top so you can't tell it's obvious, and then just have it like as in just looking
Have a-
as if he's hanging off
Yeah, have
the
a
tree.
piece of rope which actually isn't, well, it's tied to the tree, but it's like loose.
So
so
it's
it
not
actually
actually
isn't
gonna
on my
string
neck.
him. As I
And
say.
I'm just being held up by my arms, this is up on my neck.
Yeah, so
A lot safer.
hopefully it'll still look effective, but
Mm.
obviously we've still got to think of safety first, because the drowning one wasn't a good option because it's absolutely freezing cold in January, and Tom said that Biddle's pool isn't the most cleanest pool of all, so
How are you going to make it clear through your representation that the character is new to the area, new to the school?
well, obviously when a new kid goes to a school they're always alone and they're always looking as if they're trying to fit in and stuff. But we were going to mention it through dialogue as well, but we don't really want to make it blatantly obvious, so we're really spelling it out to the audience, like, you know, like, oh, he's the new kid sort of thing, and like really make it obvious. Obviously they want to do some thinking themselves.
See, I would just say the opposite from your script. I think it would be more subtle to show it rather than say it in
Yeah.
the script.
I mean, you can see from Tom's actions, he's not going to be walking around the school like he's been there for years with his head held high walking around the school. He's going to be low to the floor, looking down, not really paying much attention to anybody, just in case anything he gets into any trouble or catches the wrong people.
Yeah, we're thinking a bit more through body language and stuff, rather than, as you said, making it blatantly obvious through the script and what they're saying.
You know, on that picture of Tom and his character, is that what he's going to look like when he's bullied? With like his hood and whatever?
No, we're going to make him well.
Because I was going to say, does it look like
Yeah, no,
someone you'd
we're going to
bully?
make him look like he's like a bit of a geek, so to speak.
And then he changes.
And then
to
when
that.
he changes, he's going to be wearing like hoodies and stuff like that, which you like take to the hoodie stereotype.
Yeah. But we didn't just take the pictures for a recreational thing. For me and Brett, it was like trying to reflect the personalities of our characters, like being the in kids and the cool kids
Messing
and
around
stuff.
and stuff like that.
Hence why I took my glasses off.
You said that your character says Tom does strange things. How do you know that he does strange things if he's new and if he keeps his head down?
Because we've seen him do it, and people are saying, like we said, people in the outline of the story, people tell us, and then I'll go and tell Brett. I say, like, people see him doing stuff, and that's when the image of him looking into the mirror and just staring into the mirror comes into place, because people see him. And we're also thinking, like, maybe instead of just getting him smacking walls, maybe have him doing something like maybe appear to be self-harming himself or something like that. Questions?
I think you need to be a little bit careful over how much violence you show. I think it should be more suggested than actually shown, because you can isolate an awful lot of your audience that way, which would limit your audience figures. And the only other thing I'd say really is be really clear on the genre. I don't think psychological thriller / horror is specific enough. Probably, you know, pick psychological thriller and really go down that way.
Okay.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.